because we are analyzing the national budget, which is also in billions. So billions of times. Yeah, I mean somebody. I mean, if you listen to people that don't understand, it's difficult. So that man, all of us should just come together. Give us the money. Adios, but anyway, this is still comes to this. Just now we talk to our second contributor who is going to share with us his sentiments. Lazarus, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Perry Kent, and good morning to our listeners.
All right, now obviously a lot of Zambians have different reactions to the national budget.
Of course. So we just want to get what is your reaction to the national budget overall? What is the budget?
The budget is full of fake promises, just like the way their campaigns had fake promises. Because within the budget that we are having, you are having a president who promised the people of Zambia that the country doesn't need to borrow at this particular moment. So the total budget that was released, the total budget is 173 billion kwacha. From there now we are having the same government which is going to borrow about that is 24.5 billion, which will come from domestic borrowing, and then 49.7 billion will come from external borrowing. Now this is implying that out of the 173 billion kwacha, which the budget of the budget which was allocated, 74.2 billion will come from borrowing. Now let us go back to statistics once again. I know the people of Zambia again are appreciating to say the government itself has made a few pronouncements because they have increased the CDF. Now the CDF has not been increased. So the total budget or the total allocation to the CDF currently is 25.7 million. Now let us look at the activities that are falling under the same CDF amount. Now, the proposed CDF amount, which is 25.7 million, is too little compared to the additional tasks which have come as a result of the same decentralization. Now, when you look at the same CDF which we are talking about, primary schools, that is primary school classrooms, teachers' houses, desks, rural clinics, staff houses, local courts, small bridges, clearance of canals, community boreholes, deep tanks, and small dams will all be funded under the same 25.7 million CDF. Now, again, on the other hand, we have got the same empowerment schemes that were previously funded by the relevant ministries such as the youth and the gender ministries will be funded under the same 25.7 million CDF. Now, besides that, once again, so what they have done is not CDF increment. They have just widened the scope for utilization of CDF. Now, this simply means that certain tasks that were previously under the central government through the district offices will no longer be performed by them. They are going to be undertaken by local authorities working with local communities through the same 25.7 million CDF. Now, we go back again to the promises which were made. So as I've said earlier, I've said this budget was full of fake promises. This is because students were promised that immediately the UPND wins, they are going to sell the jet and give them meal allowances. This budget didn't address that. Apart from that also, there is salary increment for civil servants which were promised. That hasn't happened because all these promises that I'm telling you, Mr. Perry Kent, are that immediately the president wins, he was supposed to increase the civil servant salaries. Apart from that,
just on that, I mean, I do have a follow-up question on you on the CDF, but because you mentioned the issue of salaries, now payee exemption threshold is something that came through, and from 4,000 kwacha to 4,500 kwacha, people will not be taxed with regards to payee. Don't you think that is a progressive move by the government?
And also, I think, do you also think then it would be progressive to, instead of increasing salaries of civil servants, to employ more civil servants into government, which we have seen by them wanting to hire the 30,000 teachers and 11,400 workers?
Okay, regarding, because there are two questions that have been asked to me, that is regarding the payment. You are talking about the tax threshold of which a person who is not who is receiving less than 4,500 and below, they are not going to be required to pay tax. Now, regarding that move, I think the president is aware, the president is the economist. He's supposed to know that you are not supposed to increase the tax thresholds regarding the tax brackets. No. What he's supposed to do is supposed to reduce the tax and maintaining the same tax threshold in short. So what I expected is, instead of that person to begin paying a 20% salary tax immediately that person is getting more than 4,500, the president was supposed to say, we are going to reduce tax, let's say, by 13%. That simply means civil servants were going to feel appreciated, but that has not happened. And then regarding other things that have been asked to say, instead of increasing, maybe increasing the same budget or maybe increasing the same salaries for civil servants, why can't we appreciate, because the government has said we are going to employ about 30,000 teachers and 11,000 health personnel. I think regarding that issue, let us look at the promises that have been broken. For me, I'm not taking that number serious. For me, I'm not taking that employment scheme, which they are saying that they're going to employ this and those. I'm not taking that seriously, because we are looking at the government which has been able to make fake promises from the word go. But regarding that, once again, regarding... Yes.
Lazarus, not to cut you short, but the government, the Minister of Finance did announce that, students, pupils, parents would not be required to pay exam fees, tuition fees, and CPA fees. Isn't that an implementation of a promise of free education that they made during the campaign promise? Isn't that something good to look at?
No, that is not the delivered in the promise, because the promise wasn't from primary to secondary. The promise was from grade 1 to university. So if you are going to call that as fulfilling the promise, then I'm not then part of the same acceptance that the promise has been fulfilled, because we all know to say the government promised the people of Zambia, and specifically the youth, to say we are going to give you free education from...
Are you happy that at least from the 1 to 4 for now, they will not be required to pay? Are you pleased with that?
I cannot be pleased before I see the implementation. So how do you get pleased if the implementation hasn't been done? So let me just finish concluding regarding the same area of education, because we are looking at education currently, the allocation of the same budget to the education sector. So we are having the government which promised people the free education from grade 1 up to university, and not only the counseling, because the president was very much specific regarding that issue, Mr. Perry Kent. He said, we are going to give free education to pupils as well as the students from grade 1 up to university. Again, apart from that also, we are having a president who promised the people or the students to say, we are going to sell the jet immediately we form government, and we are going to use that money to begin giving you new allowances. Now, on the other hand, once again, the president also made it clear to say they are going to suspend student loan repayments. That simply means those people who have been funded by those loans and are expected to begin paying back. The president said you are going to cancel that, meaning if a student who completed at UNZA 2 years ago, 3 years ago, is working somewhere, that person is not supposed to begin paying the loan which he was funded or given when he was attending that program, when he was going to school, because that person didn't have money. So now, out of all these things that we are talking about, we can't only single out a issue to say the government is to begin paying exam fees, making PTA payments by the same pupils or parents. So that's also to say free education has been existence, because the PF government, they introduced free primary education, meaning from grade 1 to 7, a pupil was not supposed to pay anything. Now, besides that, once again, let us look at the same government in terms of the allocation of the same budget that is there. So we are seeing a president once again who promised the people to say borrowing is not needed. What the president is going to do is to restructure the debt. Now, under the same budget that has been released, 43% of the budget revenue will come from the same borrowings. Now, this is the president who was against borrowing. Besides that, Mr. Perry Kent, the president was against traveling. He was saying, no, President Lungu is traveling too much. The president is even wasting taxpayers' money. Today is in Uganda. Tomorrow is there. Now, Mr. Pedicant, tell me where the president is today. How many times has the president moved out of the country from the day of being elected? And in how many months has that happened? Now, that
I also have a question, right? On the borrowing of money. Of course, you do know that the president when in opposition was definitely against borrowing. Now, yesterday during his interview with NBC, we did see the Minister of Finance come out and say that a good chunk of the money that will be borrowed is going towards refinancing the Eurobond in 2022. So I just want to get your reaction. Do you then think that it's justifiable to say that the main reason that they are going to be borrowing, or rather the biggest part of the money that's going to be borrowed is going towards refinancing the debt? Do you think that was a good move?
Okay, when you borrow at your neighbor, and then you see that tomorrow I'm supposed to pay my neighbor the money, then you go at the nearest shop, you borrow the same money, the same amount which is supposed to be paid to your neighbor, and then you pay to your neighbor. Does it mean that you have managed to pay the debt? Does it mean that you have serviced the debt? Of course not. It simply means you are borrowing on top of the other borrowings that have already been made. And then, categorically speaking, when you are talking about servicing the debt, you are not supposed to borrow more because you want to service the debt. No. What the president is supposed to do at this particular moment is to make sure that he reduces on the tax threshold, he reduces the tax which is supposed to be paid by the, which these people who are working are supposed to be paying. Immediately that happens, he also needs to make sure that he broadens the tax base. How many people are paying tax currently in Zambia? Or in short, how many people who are working in Zambia are receiving more than 4,500? The number is minimal. Now, since the number is minimal, that is where government depends in terms of its revenue. That is why even this budget is depending on those people who have been paying taxes. Of course, there are other forms of taxes that have been there.
Are you proposing a reduction on the threshold?
What I'm proposing is to reduce the tax rate.
Right. Now, I mean, obviously, with regards to the issue of managing debt, I mean, obviously, the fact that a huge chunk of our national budget goes towards servicing debt, it becomes a bit inevitable for us to, because the revenue that we collect from within the country seems to not be enough to just, to manage, our whole national budget. Don't you think that it's better now that the EPNG administration, for instance, is able to borrow as with better conditions of, for example, the Minister of Finance today was on the national broadcast saying that the conditions at which they're borrowing are such that we can even pay back after 30 years. So even if we're borrowing to service another debt, which is due in 2022, it is better because the money that we're borrowing, the conditions are under a very long period of time.
I think, Mr. Pelicant, regarding that one, it's just common sense that is supposed to be applied there. Because you all know to say the longer the period, the higher the interest rate. That is known and it's everywhere. Go in a bank and say, I'm borrowing, I'm going to pay in the next 2 months. The interest rate will be minimal compared when you say I'm going to pay in the next 5 years. Why is it so? Because the longer you stay with the money, the higher the interest rate accumulates. So that simply means if the payment of the debt will be in 30 years' time, under what interest rate? Under what interest rate is Zambia going to pay back the same debt which you are talking about here? Now, when you also begin looking at, you have mentioned and you have answered the question because that is what I'm trying to explain to you. You have said that currently in Zambia, the government doesn't have the means of what? Of making sure to say we are getting enough tax, that is pay as you earn, from the people who are working so that we begin servicing the debt, so that we begin making the budget which will be sustaining itself. Now, to answer that question, that is why I'm telling you to say the best thing that is supposed to be done, the president and the entire government, they are supposed to reduce tax rate. And then immediately that happens, they're supposed now to broaden the tax base. What I'm trying to say is this, Mr. Pelicant. When we have got people who are working in Zambia, who are only maybe about 2 million, those people are receiving 4,500, and then those people are the ones who are eligible to begin paying pay as you earn. It will be difficult for those people to manage to begin sustaining people who are 20 million. Even when you are in a home, Mr. Perikent, imagine you are 10 of you. The guys of you, maybe you are only 10. All of you are male, same of the same age. And then you are the only person who is working. Are you telling me that it will be easier for you to run that home? It will be difficult. That is the situation which Zambia is in at the moment. We have got few people who are paying tax. Since few people are paying tax, it is difficult for the country to begin running itself. And that is why I'm proposing to say, in that home, you are supposed to begin saying, oh, my guy, go and look for a job so that you begin working. You go and begin doing this, begin a business here. If you do so, you are going to begin receiving enough income, enough revenue in that home, so that you begin surviving as a team of 10 or as a group of 10. Now, that is the same thing applied at national level. When you are looking at a country which is having few people who are only paying tax, and then you are expecting the budget to begin sustaining itself, it will be very much difficult. The best thing the government is supposed to do at this particular moment is to begin making sure to say a lot of people are paying tax. If a lot of people are paying tax, they must be able to pay that tax at a minimum rate. Of course, we can say these are the people who are living in Zambia who are working. Now, under what cost are they doing so? Remember, if you are paying something, if you are working and then you are receiving something like 6,000 or maybe we say 8 to 8,000 there, somebody's being charged about 1,800, which is just going to pay as you earn. Now, this is quite a huge amount, of which even the minimum wage in Zambia is 1,200. So, meaning the minimum wage which we are having in the country is 1,200. Yet, a person who is receiving between 6,000 to 8,000 is not even paying the money which is equivalent to the minimum wage. The person is paying more. What the government is supposed to do is to begin making sure to say all the people who are paying taxes, they are paying tax which is less than the minimum wage. If so, let them increase the minimum wage as well, so that that maid who is working somewhere begins receiving something like 2,500 going up there. Then in that case, we can say, okay, even this person who will be paying this tax, who is receiving a salary or a salary of 4,500 according to the same tax threshold they have come up with, it will be understandable to say, okay, this person is paying this. It is quite okay because the person's tax is not equivalent to the minimum wage. But that is not the case today. As we are speaking now, the minimum wage in Zambia, it's 1,200. Since it is 1,200, all the taxes that are supposed to be collected across the board, it is supposed to be equal to the minimum wage or less than the minimum wage. Apart from that, now, if that is done, in order for you to begin running the nation effectively, what you are supposed to do, Mr. Perikent, is broaden the tax base, broaden the people who are paying taxes. In that angle, Zambia will begin sustaining itself. Not these things that we are seeing today. A president was against traveling because he's wasting resources as he's traveling now. He's just moving up and down. Resources are going. Besides that also, the figures in the budget itself, they will not fulfill them due to so many broken promises. As I've said already, how do you expect the government, which promised civil servant salaries increment, to begin employing more people, yet they have been breaking few promises, such as the selling of the jet, which doesn't even require the same budget, such as them beginning to make sure to say they begin helping these companies, they begin making sure to say people who are working properly are being supported. Today I'm going to tell you, Mr. Perikent, yesterday I took time to listen to Africa Must Think. That was an entrepreneurship consent. I expected the president to begin supporting people such as those who are in entrepreneurship. Even so, the people of Zambia, that youth will feel motivated to say, at this particular moment, if the president can help that entrepreneur, that is how is also going to help me. When you look at the people we were chatting for yesterday, people like the same guy from South Africa, when you talk about Vusi Tembekwayo, those guys were helped by the government. Those guys, the government has been very supportive to them. Now, in Zambia, that is not the case because immediately the president won, he didn't visit any province. All he did was to go to the US to begin meeting people there. I don't even know what they were discussing, because they were supposed to begin making sure to say
Okay, so
it's
now
moving from province
finally,
to
I'm going
province
to ask,
to
why
see
are
the
you understanding?
advantages that align in those provinces, so that he sees how the money will be channeled in those provinces, so that Zambia becomes a production hub for Southern Africa. But that is not the case, Mr. Pedicant.
Okay, now finally, as we're wrapping up, we just want to ask you, the last question before we let you go. I just want to find out, do you believe that this budget addresses the needs of the Zambian people?
And please rate it out of 10.
Okay, I'm going to give it 1 out of 10, and then from there, it is not addressing the concerns of the people, because this budget is focusing much on consumption, and this is the government which promised the people to say you don't borrow for consumption. So it's one and the same thing. We are having a government which is said no, we shouldn't be able to borrow for consumption. What we're supposed to do is to borrow for investment. I don't know if the government is investing anywhere, because the borrowings that we are talking about here are going somewhere else. What I expected also this government to do is to zero rate taxes on necessity goods such as minimum. Those are the things which Zambia depend on. But they went ahead and began zero rating things which are not non-essential goods, of which we know that the prices of minimum, as we are speaking, they are still high. The only way they can be able to be reduced is to zero rate taxes on them at this particular moment. And then from there, if that happens, then we are going to see prices of minimum to begin reducing. If that happens once again, then we can be able to say, okay, the government is now working towards its promises, because they promised the people of Zambia to say a bag of minimum will be a 25 kg bag of minimum will begin costing 50 kwacha. Now that we didn't see it. Also, when you look at the same budget that has been made by the government itself, after I made the post, I criticized the budget. They began telling me to say it's too early. They were saying, let's wait for the budget. Again, the budget comes out at it's too early. Then when do they want us to begin criticizing them, provided they have done something wrong? We are in a nation which is a democratic nation, and we are going to be able to make sure that we move with what is supposed to be done at every particular moment. At this moment, what we are seeing, to summarize everything, there has not been CDF increment. Don't be lied. Don't be cheated. Because the same CDF they're talking about to say they have increased the CDF, what they have done, all the activities that were operating at district level, they have moved them to a constituency level. That simply means that those activities are not funded adequately. You can't be able to expect the government to pay 25.7 million towards CDF. Yet the PF government please spent 30 million kwacha just on empowering or as empowerment funds towards artists. So it's not adding up. In short, what we are looking at once again, the government needs to work hard, because this is just the beginning of failure. Because failure at the beginning is failure at the end. So you can't say no, let me fail here and then I'll be going to improve later on. It's one and the same.
Don't you think that we should wish the government to succeed? Because if the UPNG administration succeeds, then the Zambian people will benefit.
No, and I'm not wishing them not to succeed. I haven't said that they will not succeed. What I'm trying to tell you is you can't be able to succeed with wrong policies. You can't be able to succeed as a nation when you are borrowing for consumption. You can't be able to succeed as a nation when the budget itself has fake promises. You can't be able to succeed as a nation when the president who condemned moving up and down of President Lungu is still doing the same. Meaning the same repercussions that were in the previous government are expected to be within, because there has been no any change over the activities that were being done there. Besides that, once again, you can't be able to say, no, let us be able to say, no, the government is going to do this, the government is going to do that. Quite okay, we can be able to say that. But allow me to say, criticizing doesn't mean that you are making the government or we are wishing the government to fail. What we are saying, we are reminding them to say, what you need to do at this particular moment. You promised the people of Zambia that they are going to begin buying a bag of minimum at 50 kwacha. What we are doing at the moment, we are telling them to say, you promised civil servant salaries increment. What we are telling them at this moment, we are telling them to say, you have not increased the CDF fund. What you have just done is that you have centralized everything, all the activities which were being done at district level. You have moved them at constituency level, and the same amount you have located there, it's minimal because the previous CDF was 1.6 million. If we were just to remove all the activities that they have moved from district level to constituency level, we are going to see to say all that we are talking about here, if we subtract all those things, even the money which they allocated previously as CDF, which was 1.6 million, was even quite a lot compared to the money that they have allocated now. In short, what we are trying to say is to offer checks and balances is not to wish the government fail. What we are saying is make sure you deliver what is supposed to be delivered to the people of Zambia.
Comrade Simcoco, because of that, and we do appreciate your views on the national budget. I will hope that we can speak to you again. But on that 1/10, rating, we leave the conversation there, but we will definitely continue on that.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Perikent.
That was Lazarus Simcoco.